Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Sorry. I am happy to be here. It's always fun to come visit you guys on a Tuesday and say hello. So, by thanking two wonderful people who I have the opportunity to do a style shoot with this weekend, Heather Tardif and Janice Berry Florals. We have a situation today where our venue canceled on us, so we scrambled, but we got a new venue. So I, as a wedding planner, was so thankful to have two amazing people on my team to help us find a new venue, and we'll show you guys some sneak peeks and stuff, and tell you where the venue is and everything on Sunday. So we have style shoot. I'm super excited. It's going to be amazing. We've got so many awesome vendors. So I just needed to start off by saying that and saying a big thank you to Heather and Jen, because they're pretty awesome and definitely jumped to the help, which was nice. And thank you to the venues who also did step up and said that they would be available. We did just pick the first one that said yes, and we're very excited about the venue. So, but to the others, thank you guys so much for offering. And to the ones that said no, but they'd love to do one, we'll be doing one soon, I promise. So, yeah. So this is the fun of the industry. So I decided today's topic should be about something I know a little bit more about. I mean, I know a little bit about everything we've talked about, but definitely know, live and breathe what a planner can help with. So I thought I'd start off with kind of explaining what a planner does, because I think people are confused regarding that. Hey, Shelly. It can be a little overwhelming, a little confusing, a little unsure of why the cost and things like that. And I will be speaking to a month of coordination. This is something I'm currently in the process of revamping, relooking at, and evaluating. I will let you guys know that at a later time if that is something I'm for sure changing. But first, the first thing, and I think one of the most important things, is actually the topic from last week, as we help with your itinerary. And by itinerary, I mean we go down to the minute. Like, I do 5-minute intervals sometimes for something. So we help you create that itinerary from pretty much the days before up until the day of your wedding, to the end of your wedding day. So we let you know when people are supposed to be there. We let people know what time things are happening. We let know when deliveries are happening. We have all of that listed. So it's important for you to know that that's a huge time saver. So, and it's also huge in helping you get yourselves organized and have all your vendors organized, and we help with that. So that's probably one of the biggest things we do, not the biggest in time or anything, but I think one of the ones that when I hand over the itinerary or an itinerary process is the one that they love the most, most of the time. So we're also able to recommend vendors. A lot of times people are looking for a specific, like I need a teal blue tablecloth. Well, we know the vendors in the city that are able to provide that without you having to search it down to look for every single person. So we're able to kind of reduce your time and your stress. So this is when it's helpful. If you hire us quicker, the better we can help with this type of thing. This does not mean that we are meeting with you and going to every vendor and doing all that. That's not what this means at all. That's more of a full planning thing. But you're saying, do you have any recommendations for transportation? Yeah, I have a few. I'll give them to you. That type of thing. So, and you can know that they're a reputable organization and that they're trusted and that they've shown their ability in the past. So that's important. This one is what I love, because I just had 3 messages from my brides. Is I'm here to help you answer random questions. So, if you're unsure what time to do a transportation pickup for, if you're unsure of the questions you need to ask your venue, if you're unsure of, I've even gotten, does this color look okay with this color in a picture? We're here to help with that. we're here to give some guidance. We can be that extra bridesmaid, as I like to call it sometimes, that really is there to work for you. So yeah, definitely an asset and a huge one. We will help organize your vendors. I know this doesn't seem as big of a deal as it is, but month of coordination means that we contact each one of your vendors about the month before, and we start figuring out what they need, what timeline they need. Do they need to set up first before somebody else, and things like that, like just like the whole organization of that. And we also then collect who are we contacting the day of the wedding. So if your linen vendor hasn't shown up, what does that mean, and who do I contact, right? I'm not just calling the phone line that every Joe Schmo can call. I want to know who I can call and who I can contact. So that's something that we handle. So we take over what I call vendor management for the last month of your wedding, is where we are able to help and take that over. We, at least Prairie Sky Events, this is one of the things that I do provide, is I'm able to speak to your MC, or to, if you're having a family friend marry you, I can have a quick 15 to 20 minute conversation with them and give them some guidance and some suggestions and some help in that area. So that's another important one. And then it comes to the wedding day. So on the wedding day, we are there to direct every single person at your wedding. We are there to organize all the vendors. As I said earlier, call the vendors if they haven't shown up, if they're late. We are there to be representing you. So we've talked enough, we've organized enough together that I know what your answers will be to certain questions, or I'm there to troubleshoot those things as they happen, which is often. Troubleshooting is frequent at weddings, and it is rapid. And if you want to take that all on as the couple and want to have all those questions come to you, good luck. There's so many things that happen and so many things that have to get changed and adjusted, and it's just important to realize that nothing goes 100% according to plan. So yeah, we're there to answer the questions. We're there to come up with the solutions and to troubleshoot. We're there to cue the music. So as you walk down the aisle, we're the ones cueing the music. As you do your grand entrance, we're the ones cueing the music. We're the ones reminding the DJ to play such and such song for your father-daughter dance, and this such song for your mother-son dance, or this for your wedding dance, or whatever. All the songs and all the everything. We're there to do that for you. We're there to check in with the vendors. So, make sure the vendors have everything they need, have everything that is required, or everything that you said you would provide, and then troubleshoot and be an assistance to them. So just as much as an assistant to the couple, we're there to also help vendors along and to ensure that their needs are being met, because if their needs aren't being met, then your needs aren't being met. And then, as I said, the big one is troubleshooting. Problem solving, I think, is every wedding or any event planner is probably what they say the biggest thing that they are good at is problem solving and coming up with solutions. Most of the time, I have already thought out about 2 or 3 different scenarios and have come up with those solutions. So I'm calling, as I said, calling the vendors. I'm also ensuring contracts have been vendors have been compliant to contract. That's the right organization of words. I actually request from every single one of my couples that they give me every single vendor contract, and I have them on me on the day of the wedding. And that's not to, I'm not dragging them through their contracts, but it's just ensuring that their contracts are being met and that everything syncs up. I asked to see contracts because I can find things that you told me that is listed differently in your contract, and I will alarm you to that quick so that you can get an amendment made if you have a different request than was outlined in the contract, because ultimately your vendors will go according to what's in the contract, not to what you verbally said to them. The person that you verbally said that stuff to is not necessarily sitting in the venue that day. They're sitting across you as you're making those decisions, but that's about it. I'm able to help you do setups. There's a limited I don't want to say I do all setups and everything in the setup. That's not what I do. I'm able to help with the setup depending upon the size of the wedding and the requirements of the setup. Then that's a conversation we can have. I've seen most of my brides. I've been able to definitely help with the setups. Again, not done them all, but I've definitely been there to assist. And if I'm not doing the setup, then I'm definitely there to ensure that the vendor that is doing the setup is meeting that. If you're doing a setup after your rehearsal, absolutely I'll be there. No problem. I'm happy to set up, but during that time of frame. And then do any touch-ups, because sometimes, I know things would look a little bit better in a little way, so I'll just, switch things a little bit. I can do that for you. And then just make sure the day runs smoothly so that no one really notices the hiccups that happen. No one really notices the issues, and truthfully, most of the time the couples don't even realize it. I also attend the rehearsal as long as I'm able to. They have a wedding on the day, so sometimes if it's a Saturday wedding, they do the wedding rehearsal on the Friday. I've already been booked, but I do it to the best of my abilities, and if not, I can always send an assistant to come down and help you with your rehearsal, and that's to ensure that everything runs smoothly. If you have a professional marriage commissioner or some other type of person who's going to be marrying you that's done it a lot, then I don't worry as much. I'm just there to assist and to provide some guidance and to ensure I know what's going on the wedding day. But if you do have someone that's never done a wedding before, then I'm there to help and provide answers and help guide that process. So I find going to rehearsal super, super, super important. And it also gives me an opportunity to meet your whole wedding party and your family and to get to know them, to get to know me, and for them to know that they can come see me with questions. And on the day of the wedding, if they have anything, I give them all my cell number, and they can message me or call me directly rather than calling the bride and groom, or the groom and groom, or bride and bride. So, two of the most important things that wedding planners do or should do, if they don't, and if you ask, these may be questions to ask them, is I have an emergency kit on me all the time. And I did a photo shoot a little while back and had some pictures taken with it. I think there's a photo a little while back of it. This bright pink bag, so I can't lose it. But it has everything in it that I'd ever need. I have had a bride reactive, and I had it. I've had I also obviously have Tylenol and Advil because there's allergies to acetaminophen. I have fixed a mother of the bride's necklace with a zip tie. I have scissors. I have every tape imaginable. I have, the list goes on. I'll just say that. I pretty much have something to solve every single type of spill, any issues that happen with things not sticking to the walls or whatever. It's all there. So it's definitely a good emergency kit. So maybe I'll post a picture next after this live video, and maybe on Facebook, just to show you how big it is. It's pretty awesome. I use it for every single one of my weddings. I've never once had a wedding that I have never used it. It's amazing. The other important thing is I carry around with me my vendor list and my itinerary for the day, and I literally go through step by step and we ensure every single thing is happening, and everything is on time and wonderful. So I carry that in the clipboard, and it keeps me on track and organized. So super important. So that's kind of the gist of what I do as a month-of coordinator. Many of you may have seen me at the wedding show, and I probably did this spiel in about 30 seconds. This is, I think we're at 10 minutes right now or something, 14 minutes. So it's a little bit longer of one, but it is an easy, it gives you the cool notes of it. Definitely can look a little different depending upon the wedding. And as I said, I am currently looking at changing my packages that I do provide, but that probably won't come out until after this wedding season. So one of the things that I pride myself in as a wedding planner is that I am WPIC certified, which is the Wedding Planners Institute of Canada. So, Shelly, if your officiant freezes cancels, can you marry someone too? Not yet, but I definitely am getting my marriage license for that reason, or my ability to marry. My paperwork is sitting on my desk somewhere in this file right here, and I will be submitting that and getting that. So not yet, but probably in the next couple months I can, and that's super important. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Shelly. Hopefully your marriage efficient doesn't cancel. I'm actually Shelly's wedding planner, helping her with her wedding, though she's got it pretty down pat. And a friend of hers is marrying them and is actually my husband. So he better not cancel, Shelly. So yes, so back to WPIC. So I'm WPIC certified, and why I got WPIC certified, there's no mandate anywhere that says I have to be WPIC certified to be a wedding planner. I truthfully could have just started off my business and that's all. I pride myself in the fact that I did get my education for to be a wedding planner. I pride myself that I am backed by an organization and that I am held up to a code of ethics. Being recognized as a WPIC planner means that I am always doing continuing education with them, with other organizations. I am able to network with other WPIC planners. I am always upheld to this code of ethics. So if anybody, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but if I ever didn't agree to my, or if I went against my WPIC code of ethics, I could get my WPIC certification revoked for that. So it's something I pride myself in. It's Canadian-wide. It's made in Canada, and I enjoyed the process of getting it. I enjoy now the process of getting the continuing education through it and the people I met through it. I did do it online. I didn't do the in-house. They do in-house training, but I just decided to do, based upon the timeline, when I decided to get it and when they had their next one in Winnipeg, it just made more sense for me to do it online. But I have, through WPIC, definitely gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience through it. So I thank them for that, because there is tests, there is work you have to do, homework, all that type of stuff. There's a final exam. So you do have to do some stuff to actually complete it. So I love the process and love the fact that I'm WPIC certified. So to kind of speak to the ethics of this a little bit, because people would kind of be wondering, like, well, what does it mean to have ethics? So our number one ethics is we do not take kickbacks. So we don't take money from vendors when we've booked a client with them. If we were to, say the vendor were to offer us a kickback, we need to give that to our client as a discount on that certain vendor. So we would just say, no, please give my vendor that, or my client that, sorry, as a discount on that invoice, and I don't want it. So we work for the client. We don't work for the vendors. Our couples are our clients, and when we're doing weddings, that's super important. So we treat, our number two is treat each client fairly. We'll be honest and upfront in the representation of our clients. So again, it comes back to that. We are working for our clients. Our clients are number one, and that's who we're working for. So super important. We uphold our, well, that's my reminder that this is us starting in 10 minutes, even though I won't be watching it. 2 more episodes if you're a This Is Us fan. I'm very sad the season's almost done, but then it also means that summer's almost here. So it's a conflict, you know, inside. So yes, we uphold our ethics. That all our clients will receive a detailed contract as a part of our ethics. We believe in education, networking, training, which I just spoke to. Our pricing is upfront and industry comparable. So if you look at WPIC certified wedding planners, we should all be approximately around the same amount. We're not bang on, like that's not real, that's not realistic. We all have different experience, we all have different education, we all have different types of clients we deal with and types of weddings. So it's not to say we're all going to be same across the board, not at all. But we are upfront with our pricing and comparable. So we do have kind of a range in pricing or an industry standard. We stay within that industry standard. And then we always endeavor to benefit our clients and not ourselves. So again, that's that same thing about not taking kickbacks and things like that. we work for our clients. So just an important thing to note. I just it gives me pride that I am WPIC certified, and that I have this to back me, and that my clients know that I'm working 100% for them and to benefit them. So that's a little everything in a nutshell. So that's a good 20-minute convo on what wedding planners are. Again, I will be revamping my packages, but for now I am still doing monthly coordination. And when I go to my new packages, it won't change. What I provide won't change very much. It's just might look a little differently, and it actually will probably expand and be a little bit more a longer term thing. So I am testing it out with a couple of my clients currently, and we'll be doing a full launch probably after it next year. So at the end of this wedding season. So I hope you guys got something out of this and learned a little bit about what does a wedding planner do? And I will say that I did not hit every single point. We do lots and lots and lots of more than what is listed. I would love if anybody who's had a wedding planner comments on these, or messages me with some of the things that they think a wedding planner does or a wedding planner helps them with, and we can go from there. So thank you guys all for listening to me today and for joining me. I always appreciate it. I do always look forward to my Tuesdays. Not 100% sure what my next Tuesday is, but probably in the end of April or starting of May, I will be having a guest on our Tip Tuesday, and I'm very looking forward to it. We just have to hammer out some of the details, but I have a vendor that would like to join. So vendors, if you're out there and would like to be a part of a Tip Tuesday, feel free to send me a message. And anybody out there that has any suggestions or ideas for what you'd like to see on a Tip Tuesday, again, send me a message and or comment below, and I will definitely bring it to you. So thank you guys all so much. Have a lovely Tuesday. And if you're going to go watch this and get your Kleenex out, I'm sure it's probably another doozy. Anyways, have a lovely evening, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys soon.